and welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Nyambura and this is 100 on Books. I'm looking fidgety because I don't know if you can hear, but there's a person outside who decided to start mowing, and this is basically our human condition at this point. So as we say in Kenya, tunapambana na hali yetu, we are battling our condition. Right, so today I'm here to share my March book haul, and I'm going to be sharing it alphabetically according to the author's last names, or at least the last name that's listed, because I don't want to assume that that's how their name is. You know what I mean? Right, okay. So the first of those is A Truth Universally Acknowledged, 33 Great Writers on Why We Read Jane Austen, edited by Susanna Carson, will afford by Harold Bloom. This one. Now, also it has deckled edges, which, funny story, I do not like, but I like the conceit of this. But the gag is, I have never read Austen. Enough said. But jokes aside, I find that so many people love Austen, and I think it's so important to find out the why, but also to think with authors about like why this is a writer whose work they respect and who they keep going back to. So there's Alain de Botton, Kingsley Amis, Amy Bloom, Harold Bloom, Virginia Woolf, who else? M. Somerset Maugham, is that how you say his name? Rebecca Mead, Eudora Welty, E.M. Foster, etc. So that's A Truth Universally Acknowledged, 33 Great Writers on Why We Read Jane Austen. And then next is Funny in Farsi, a memoir of growing up Iranian in America, with a new final chapter by Firoze Dumas. Now, I picked this book up because my friend Rosie years ago lent me this one, Laughing Without an Accent, Adventures of an Iranian American at Home and Abroad. And I tell you, I've never cracked that book open, but did not stop me from picking up another book by the author because clearly I don't know how to put books back on the shelf. Listen, this is now an experiential shelf. Yes, because it sounded interesting. And yeah, I've decided this is a memoir reading channel, so we're going to read memoirs, whether we kiss me or we deck me, whether we like it or not. Right, next was Movie Freak, My Life Watching Movies by Owen Gleiberman. So I got a Letterboxd account a year or a year and a half ago, but I'm really in my film watching era. Like, I watch a film every week or every 2 weeks or something, which is more than I would traditionally. And so this idea of like just thinking with somebody who clearly loves to watch films and so on. I've never heard of the author before, but it says he spent his life watching movies. So some more memoir content. Your boy is really in their memoir era, honestly and truly. Right, next is Blue. If these books look raggedy, it's because Nairobi is dusty and I did not get around to wiping this book, so yeah. And it's by Joyce Moyer Hostetter, and it says at the back, when 13-year-old Anne Faye Honeckert's father goes off to fight Hitler, he hands her a pair of blue overalls to become man of the house. Her feelings are mixed, wearing breeches so I can take the place of my daddy wasn't the same as wearing them so I could climb trees. And then she fights her resentment at losing the life she'd known, just as she fights to keep the weeds and the blue wisteria from overtaking the family vegetable garden. But when a polio outbreak changes everything again, remarkable Anne Faye needs all of her guts and resolve to face the unpredictable future. So that's Blue by Joyce Moyer Hostetter. I love books like these where it's like gender, kids being like in situations that they generally shouldn't be in or they've been forced into, and how they navigate that. So next is Stuart Little by E.B. White. Now, wait, where is this up here? Sorry, wrong place. That's not the next book. The next book is Frog and Toad Are Friends, Stories and Pictures by Arnold Lovell. And I got this because who amongst us millennials of the English-speaking world who spend more than 1 minute a day on the internet have not seen Frog and Toad memes? So I was like, hey, I don't think I've actually read a Frog and Toad book, so that's why I picked this up. Then next is a YA novel, and it's Forward Me Back to You by Mitali Perkins. It's A novel that follows these two kids as they go to India to like work as volunteers and so on. I like that the kids on the cover are not white, because I feel it's important to complicate this narrative of Americans going to India, incredible India, and the tourism board should pay me. Next is Esto es Coraje by Armstrong, Sperry. It's in Spanish, that's why I picked it up. And when I tell you, I still do not even know what the title means. That's how much of a joker in this language I am. Next is Low by Jit Thahil. I picked this up at Sarit Center, at the textbook center at Sarit Center, at the 400 bob table, because it was 400 bob and it was at the table. And also, I love books set in India, and this one's premise sounded interesting. Following the death of his wife, Dominic Hewlett escapes to Bombay in search of oblivion and a dangerous new drug. So begins a glorious weekend of misadventure, as it was the teeming, kaleidoscopic city, from its sleek areas of high capital to the peace-stained streets, encountering a cast with their own stories to tell, but none of whom Hewlett, his faculties ever distorted, is quite sure he can trust. Hedy had broken and had felt like Low is a blazing journey through the dark lands of grief towards obliteration and perhaps epiphany. Also, look at that cover. This cover said literature. Next, finally, Stuart Little, a twofer, Stuart Little and The Trumpet of the Swan by E.B. White, who's the author of Charlotte's Web, which I absolutely love. I think I have multiple copies. I know I have multiple copies of Charlotte's Web in multiple languages on the shelf. So I love the film, and I've read both of these before actually. But as you all know, both. Anyway, as you know, always collecting books for the imaginary children who are imaginarily visiting my house. But also, it's me. I am a child. Oh, God. No, I am a child, you know. Because sometimes, recently I was in the city, and then I bought a banana for myself, 2 bananas, and then this kid who was with his mom who was selling the bananas was like, "Are they buying the banana for their child?" And then their mother asked me, and then I was like, "No, I'm buying it for me. I am the child." And they're like, so, you know, lean into your child era. And then, lastly, Lyle and the Birthday Party by Bernard Weber. If I remember correctly, there was a Lyle film last year, right, Tom? The one we didn't watch. Yeah. Who was in it?
I cannot tell you.
It's a dude who is a singer. He was the voice of Lyle the crocodile. Do you know what? We are going to put a picture of him.
The one How I Met Your Mother? Neil Patrick Harris?
No.
Okay.
But anyway, yes, so this is a really sweet story. And like, it's a children's book. It has big children's book energy, you know? Children's book energy. Yes, anyway. And it doesn't have a jacket, so I really can't tell you what it's about because I have not cracked it open. But it's actually in really good state considering it doesn't have a jacket. So I liked it. And also, I like this sort of like watercolor style in children's books. In books generally, like, look at that. And that's it. That's the last of the books I got. My total spend was 1,400 shillings. I got most of the books from my children's bookseller. His name is Martin, opposite City Market. But I got 4 of the books from a bookseller opposite Jeevanjee Gardens at the corner of Moktadada Street and Muindi Mbingu Street. There's a bookseller who's right outside the Kenchik. Nairobi people will understand all of these references. And then 400 bob for the... So all of those books, the books from Muindi Mbingu Street, from the bookseller opposite City Market and from the bookseller opposite Jeevanjee Gardens, all of those books were 100 bob a piece. And then the book from Textbook Center was 400 shillings, which comes to 1,400. So I was this close to finishing the month's like book allocation, but this also means I went into the next month with some money because, as you may recall, I came into March with 2,700 to spend on books from the previous months. So technically I had 4,200, and that means I've come into April with 2,800 to spend on books. So let's see if we get more books this month. I'm recording this on April the 17th. Yes, on April the 17th. I'm looking off to the distance to Angie, who, you know, knows what date it is because she has her phone in her hand. And I might buy books. I might not. We'll see. But statistically, I'll probably buy books as I'm walking in town or when I'm at textbook center or something. And that's it. Please like, share, subscribe, and all the good things. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.